Vienna, 1824. Those in attendance stood and applauded with a fuck protocol, ruckus firestorm of ovation of unbridled happiness for Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, though it fell on the composer's deaf ears. Birds fly, ocean pounds of sand. My father is losing his hearing, and my mother has nightmares. Even as a kid from the other end of the house, I could hear her crying in her sleep like she was being haunted. So I prepared my prayers, I signed the documents to make them official. You can call what I do postmodern Joni Mitchell. But what can you do when even my city subway runs through the sky? Now, my mother had a grand piano. She taught the neighbor kids how to read music, chapter by chapter. She played at church, at weddings, or when getting drunk with her French friend Chantal. Who just moved to our small Ontario town from the outskirts of Montreal. She is shacked up with her next door neighbor who had 2 kids of his own, now divorced for over a year. A-Team and Airwolf were the hit shows of the day. Madonna and George Michael were considered risque. And with glass and wine in hand, Chantal used to love to listen to my mother play. Misplaced in a small town, what was I? When even the train tracks in my backyard were overrun with reeds and rust. Now, I broke my 9-year-old free will when the local fucking tough guy showed up at our front door in a suit, looking for piano lessons. But like the innkeeper in us all, my mother said, "I'm sorry, young man, I'm all booked up." Now, my first thought as I turned down the TV to overhear their conversation was, I bet he wants to play in a rock and roll band. And to my mother's defense, black sheep lose their beauty because there's only so many lessons you can give for free. But the local tough guy, who I knew from reputation because he was older than me, didn't raise his voice. Very gentlemanlike, he said, "Ma'am, what if I came back in a few weeks?" She said, "I'm sorry," and closed the door. Now, I just thought those hands that can knock a jaw to the curb need a chance to touch the ivory keys. Now, maybe my tune would change fast and it was my jaw he was breaking when liquored up on his dad's hidden stash. But then again, maybe he'd be less likely to do so if his hands were skilled in the art of power chords, to be played under Leonard and Motley Crue tunes. But really, what can you do when even limousines are being pimped out to look like pickup trucks? Now, in my mother's old age, she has built a fort in the Anglican Church. She's built a slingshot out of a crucifix. I think she's even stayed in the stained glass fort overnight, fending off her bad dreams, conducting the crickets like her choir. When I'm not on the road, I make my living in town selling road maps to bandits by a burnt-down circus tent. Their warrior paint is just a breeze ash at Black Swan open mics. These refugees and orphans of legitimacy are fucking frustrated by highway detour signs. The shard glass under their feet, like the cope of my mother from my birth. She has the scars to prove it, and new shoes for my sister. My friends, my whole life, all I ever wanted was travel town to town and sing songs that meant something. But tonight, fueled on endless shots of Jaeger and chain smoking, I just prayed my mother's nightmares stop. For if and when they do, world peace will kiss the belly of the church, and heaven will finally learn how to play the blues. What else is there to do? In a ghost town, as you watch the last train pull away. But open up for business. Piano lessons for tough guys and drunk, sexy women from Montreal. I just need one student to make this shit official. You can call what I do postmodern Joni Mitchell. But the meaning of that, only my mother would understand. He doesn't want to teach. He wants to play in a rock and roll band. with a sound so unworldly and joyous, it could end all our nightmares. Birds fly, the ocean pounds the sand, and each night my mother prays her son's music does not fall on her husband's deaf ears.